was on a flight here, I actually hooked up with somebody.
So you have secrets?
It would be secrets, but I wouldn't necessarily want to tell you. Everyone has flaws.
Flaw? That's a defect.
It was provoked.
The arrogance, man. Get the out of here. Go over there and sit down. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And tonight, it looks like we're missing someone. Where's Portia?
I don't feel comfortable in this house.
If he really didn't give a about you, Portia, you wouldn't be here.
I want each of you to write a letter to the parent who has influenced your love life the most.
All I ever wanted was your love. But truth is, you made me feel ugly.
You're all heading out on dates. Should be a perfectly smooth sail for everybody, okay?
Oh my God.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, okay. Get me out of here, man.
I have a load of clothes in the dryer. Soon as they're done, I'm out this bitch.
Oh, you bouncing? Are we staging a walkout right now?
Y'all can call it what you want.
Portia just came off of one of the roughest weeks ever at Tough Love Boot Camp. Blowing up at her housemates.
You were upstairs.
Losing faith in the process, and butting heads with me. I don't know where you think you get off that you're so much better than everybody.
You couldn't survive a night in this house.
Your attitude is disgusting.
Aw.
Get the out of here. Go over there and sit down. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Now, it looks like this may be the end. Come on in, guys.
Hey, you guys coming?
Week 7 is about mommy and daddy issues. It's just a fact. Your childhood affects your dating life and relationships. And it looks like we're missing someone. Anybody? Where's Portia?
She's in the other room right now.
I had no intention to go into that meeting or anything thereafter. I was done. I had already mentally checked out, and I was thinking about being back at home.
Well, we're gonna start without her. Portia's pulling a classic standoff maneuver to avoid her real issue, owning up to her fears and frustrations and finding love. All right, guys, today's a new day, and it's a new important topic this week. One of the most important influences on your love life is your relationship with your parents. I want each of you to write a letter to the parent in your life who has influenced your love life the most. I want you to put these thoughts in the letter, and then I want you to all come back and share them here as a group.
It wasn't until coming to boot camp that I realized that my dad really impacted my love life at all. I mean, I'm still processing all of these emotions, and now you want me to, like, pour my heart out into a letter? That's gonna be a little tough.
Feel free, guys, to go about the house, make yourselves comfortable, do what you need to do, and I'll come back and check in on you.
He just wants us to write a letter to a parent about how they've kind of shaped our lives and the decisions we made. Just kind of opening up, just like a dear parent letter. And you can talk about whatever you want.
Portia and I aren't on the same page right now, but I'm not letting her stay in boot camp just to pout. So I'm sending my sister Monica in to see if she can get Portia to at least participate.
Hey. How are you?
At this point, I'm ready to go home. I feel like I'm under a lot of stress. I don't feel comfortable in this house. I feel like I'm losing my sanity day by day.
I can appreciate where you're coming from, okay? Wholeheartedly. It's not easy being in this house, and I understand that. But what I'm asking of you is to take it moment by moment, day by day.
I understand that it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but at the same time, I feel like it was unfair. The yelling at group,
Right.
you know, in front of everyone.
Yeah, I understand. But trust me, Portia, it's a tool to help you. He selected you to participate in this boot camp because he feels he can help you. And if he really didn't give a about you, Portia, you wouldn't be here. If you leave on a bad note, that's what people remember. When you end on a high note, that's the message that you send.
I was like, I'll write a letter because, you know, my mom or my dad, they're deserving of that. So I was like, I'll write the letter, but that doesn't mean I'm staying.
Thank you for talking with me, and we'll talk a little bit more later if you want, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you already tearing up? Girl, yes. Me too. I just hate the fact you keep making me dig up. It was emotional writing this letter to my mother because I felt like, you know, not having a father. That pretty much, you know, that's where the shutdown all pretty much started from. It was like, you can't trust a man. He'll leave you, you know, or he'll cheat on you, or he'll walk out, whatever the case. So I wanted to be able to tackle those issues. I think I've cried all my tears out.
It was very emotional for me to write the letter because ever since I was a little kid, I put my mom through hell. I was the bad kid, always in trouble, and she's always been there for me no matter what. I told my mom how I feel about her, but I never actually sat down and broke everything down. It made me realize that I really am lucky to have a great mom.
This is going to be hard. How am I going to write a letter to my father explaining why I'm disconnected and how he influenced that? This is so much more difficult than anybody could expect it to be.
Good morning, guys. What's up?
Hey, everyone.
Writing these letters to their parents was a major stride for the men and women in the house. Now, I want them to take the next step. I'm also pleased but not surprised to see Portia rejoin the group for this exercise. And I hope it does her some good. Why don't I give you guys a chance to open up and read your letters, and maybe we can talk a little bit about it, work through anything that's out there, okay? How about you, Sarai? Why don't we start with you?
Really? Oh, okay. Dear Dad, you pushed me hard, and I know in your heart you felt you were bettering me somehow. But truth is, you made me feel worthless. You made me feel ugly. I starved myself for food because I was starving for your attention. I needed my rock. I needed my dad. Sorry. This isn't stuff that I just talk about.
It's okay, Sarai.
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
I started reading it and I was fine. And I tried so hard not to cry. I was like, okay, I already let it out when I wrote it. I'm not gonna let it out when I read it. But sure enough, you know, I choose men who are just like you. Cold, disconnected, and self-centered. Because essentially I'm trying to replace what I lacked. I only wish for once you could say the words I've been seeking my whole life. I love you.
That was very brave of you, Sarai.
I don't think I've ever really brought this kind of stuff to surface to like handle it and to move on from it. It's just kind of, I just try to forget it, you know?
And that's not the answer.
It's easier.
Listen, guys, repressing your feelings and burying them is not the answer. You have a lot to be proud of. You have a lot to be confident about. There's a very beautiful person in front of me. And you can share that with someone who will appreciate you for what you're worth. Don't feel like you deserve any less. Kyle?
Dear Dad, first and foremost, I want to let you know that I love you. During my childhood, you were away a lot for work. I never realized until I came to boot camp that I have been disconnected when it comes to relationships. I also talk a lot, saying things just to hear my voice, and I'm wondering if it's a cry for attention. I love you.
If you want to be in love with somebody and you want to have a healthy relationship, I think you need to realize there's more ways to be heard than just by speaking. That's why you talk so much. You want to be heard.
Yeah.
I didn't know this exercise would make people so emotional.
Chris, you want to go?
Damn, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Coming up.
I say my dad, but it's not my biological father. I'm just so grateful that he came into our lives.
Yeah. And later,
I'm very confused as to why I'm sitting in this chair.
you fell off on your date. Who's next over here? Chris, you want to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Mom, you have truly been an inspiration in my life. And, I know throughout my life, your only son has put you through a madhouse. In love, you have always wanted me to have a woman who loved me like you would. Some people don't have moms that were there for them like my mom has been, so I got really emotional. I look up to you in so many ways. My goal in life is to have a woman who is courageous, strong, and caring just like you.
Watching some of the boys shed a tear, it was such an emotional experience. Like Chris, Chris doesn't cry, you know what I mean? Like, Chris gets mad, but he doesn't cry.
That has some really deep emotion there, man. Where does that come from?
My mom, she's like, she's like my best friend.
It's not easy for most men to show emotion, and I really respect Chris for being so open about his connection with his mother. It's a breakthrough in the way he looks at women, and I hope he can carry that forward. Who's next over here? Portia? You want to participate?
Thank you, Portia, and I appreciate you sharing.
Dear Dad, As a child, I thought you were insufferable. Church, 3 or 4 times a week. Absurd rules about not polishing my nails. Strict dress regulations. Not being able to wear my hair down. Relentless efforts to break my sass. Looking back now, it's all clear to me. The structure and discipline you required helped shape me to who I am today. Seeing your love for Mom and our family over the years has been invaluable in how I see the world and cherish relationships. You taught me how a woman should be treated in a relationship and how I should never settle. I'm so grateful for you. I love you.
How do you think that your childhood affected, your relationships and the type of men that you've chosen to be with in relationships?
I just think that my dad is like the ideal father, the ideal husband, and I want someone who's just like my dad. I say my dad, but it's not my biological father. I have no idea who he is. When my dad met my mom, she had 3 kids. And ever since I was a kid, my dad just took me under his wing. Well, all of us under his wings. And I just respect any man who can date a woman with 1 child, let alone 3.
You can tell her about that.
It's very familiar to us, Portia, because that's our story as well. Our dad married our mother, who had 3 kids. And I look at my dad the same way that you look at yours. Very much so.
I'm just so grateful that he came into our lives. And I feel like he did everything.
You all right?
I feel like he did everything that a dad should do. And I'm just so grateful for him.
You're very lucky, Portia.
And I can appreciate where you're coming from, because it does take a very special kind of man to make you feel loved, despite not being your blood.
There's one thing I think that your dad and my dad have in common, and that is unrivaled integrity, character. I credit my dad for every single one of my strengths, and I learned that from him because I didn't inherit it. And I think you learned a lot of great values from your dad as well. And I think you deserve to be with a man as good as he is. I was incredibly moved by Portia's letter to her father. She didn't always like the rules he had laid down, but they had a purpose. Hopefully she sees that there's a purpose behind this process as well. Now, there's one more step for our lesson. All right, Soraya, your dad Bill's here.
Oh, okay.
Come on in, Bill.
We just had this huge emotional breakthrough. I mean, I hadn't even stopped crying. And then now my dad's walking in, and that makes me cry even more.
You all right, Soraya? All right. Hopefully you guys can really connect here and she can fill you in on her experience. This has been an emotional experience. So I thought it would help the men and women to see a familiar face and have the opportunity to share their feelings directly if they want to.
Hi, Kiana.
All right, man.
Come on over here, Jesse.
Before I knew it, my mom and my dad are there. And I'm so caught off guard, but I'm just so happy. It was a great feeling. Having everyone's family in the house alleviated all the attention. I was about to leave today.
Oh, really?
I was done.
Oh, yeah?
What, you was having a temper tantrum?
You know how long it took me to pack that?
Do you know how long it took you to pack it?
Are you serious?
You were,
Yes. My dad's like,
Oh, yeah? Oh, you was about to leave.
you never quit before, so don't quit now. I know you're not giving up.
No, she ain't going nowhere. Where she gonna go?
I'm homeless. I have a house. I have a car. My mom and my dad, coming in just saying, we know you're not a quitter. Everyone's rooting for you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be in a relationship. We want you to make it through boot camp. That was my motivation to say, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna ride this thing out. So we have to write a letter today. You want to sit down or you want to stand up?
To us?
Okay, Ma. Try. Keep it together.
I'll try.
Okay.
I want the men and women to share their feelings with their loved ones, but I'm not asking them to read their letters. For those who do, I commend them for their courage.
You taught me to be strong and to love and to be in control of my own destiny. For me, long-distance relationships have always been easy for me to maintain because absence makes the heart grow fonder.
You are by far the toughest person I've ever met, hands down. And in your time of need, you always put me, Lee, and Grant first.
It was a beautiful letter. Dad would be really touched by it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope that by airing their issues, everyone can move forward with their family relationships in a positive way, especially Soraya, who has a big issue to resolve.
Aren't you surprised to see me?
I didn't think you were going to come. I thought if anyone, it was going to be Mom because of your job,
Hey, for you, I would do anything.
Steve didn't tell us that we necessarily had to read the letter verbatim. He said just explain how you feel. But I just want to read the letter, and he's going to sit here and he's going to listen to it regardless if he likes it or not.
Well, that's what I'm here for, honey.
Coming up.
You pushed me hard. You made me feel worthless.
We're hitting a whopping 1 mile an hour.
Got LA traffic, terrible directions.
This is such bull.
Well, that's what I'm here for, honey. It's okay.
I just got to the point where I said, okay, let me read this note, which I didn't think he was ever going to hear. And I feel like at this point, this is really the only way that I can kind of express my emotions and not be interrupted and have him just really take it in and listen.
You pushed me hard, and I know in your heart, you felt like you were bettering me somehow. But truth is, you made me feel worthless. You made me feel ugly. All I ever wanted was your love. And to this day, I rarely hear these words. I don't hate you, I never could. I only wish you could say the words I've been seeking my whole life. I love you.
I love you, honey. If I knew it, honey, you come first. You know, I apologize. You needed me more than what I tried to give you. I guess whatever I was lacking, I apologize and we start from here. I'll do my best to be there for you instead.
This is the first time I've ever reopened these wounds to truly let them heal. I feel so much better that it happened. There's this giant weight that has been lifted off of my shoulders, a weight that I have been carrying around my whole life.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How was your visit with your families?
Amazing. Thank you so much. Much needed.
So let's get to today's business. You're all heading out on dates around town. Practice what I've been preaching to you. Show me you know what you're doing. Should be a perfectly smooth sail for everybody, okay? After the emotional roller coaster of letter writing, it's time for what I call stress dates. I've engineered a little chaos with a little dose of family pressure. I want to see how everyone reacts when the inevitable stress of mixing romance and family reaches a tipping point.
Hello. Good to see you.
You too. This is my mom.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you. I was in shock, but I get along with all moms. I'm a mother's boy. All mothers love me.
Yeah, so let's start the drilling.
What would you like to know, ma'am?
So what you do?
I'm a DJ. It's never
Wait, aren't women all over DJs usually?
Usually.
Usually.
Usually they are. Usually they are.
Yeah, everyone has something hidden, so I think that all guys are liars and cheats. So they're guilty until proven innocent.
Yo, Lord. Whoa, okay.
Chris definitely has his hands full with Amanda's mom. Meanwhile, Stu and Paj are tackling LA's legendary traffic on their way to lunch.
We're hitting a whopping 1 mile an hour.
And there's just one extra challenge. I've given them bogus directions to their destination. It's a big turnoff for women to see their man flip out over something as trivial as getting lost. And I want to see if they can control themselves before their dates even get started.
I have no idea where I'm at. If I got lost, I'm going to be extremely embarrassed, so.
Do you have an app in this car?
Oh, no, I'll up here.
Is this your first driving experience?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Now, why don't you hold the directions, your navigator,
Yeah.
so this way he can drive straight.
And now I'm just thinking, try to keep it together. I got LA traffic, I got terrible directions.
Turn right on 4.
We are so lost.
I got a person who is going to be judging me the entire time, sitting in the back seat where I can't even look at her. Something's gone terribly, terribly wrong.
You know, I always hate traffic, but right now I'm loving that there's traffic. Because it gives me more time with you.
Paj and Lisa are getting serious, so he has enough on his plate without added pressure from a member of Lisa's family just yet. After all, according to Paj, they're ready to discuss the next big step.
Right on 4th.
Right. Did we pass it?
I feel like we passed it. What the hell? Where are we? You're distracting me with your beauty. Stop it.
Oh.
Paj is handling getting lost with the ease of a Zen master. Stu, on the other hand...
Yeah, this is such bull. So excuse me. Sorry.
Well, when you don't know the area, it's hard.
God, it's so frustrating.
Are we supposed to be going to a location? Should we just turn left? Should we just, like, head back? Like, seriously? Why don't we just stop and ask somebody...
Paj and Lisa are doing better, having finally found the restaurant. I just hope their date goes as smoothly. Paj has forsaken all other women for Lisa, and I want to see if this resolve will hold up.
So this is kind of accelerated, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm kind of going along with it, but I just don't want to... Like, I don't want us to just get ahead of ourselves, you know? I think about her a lot. I like her, but it's a little different for me. Something new that I haven't felt before. You know, I don't want to move too fast. I mean...
It's hard because everything feels right.
Well, see, you only know me as a friend anyway. Are things going to be different when we get home?
They're going to be a lot different. I'm kind of worried about it.
You worried about it,
I
really?
was worried about it before I came out here. I don't want to get home
decide, like, this really isn't for you, you know?
I think Lisa's questions about me are legit. I've been with a lot of women, so it's very out of the ordinary for me to want to even have a relationship with someone like, I need more time to kind of figure things out. It's better if we take our time.
It's not surprising, given Paj's checkered past, that he's having second thoughts about Lisa. But his fear of commitment is obviously something he'll have to conquer if he wants a lasting relationship, no matter who he's with.
Well, hopefully you know that all guys aren't the same. We always have to prove ourselves because there's so many men out there who mess it up for the good guys. Live on my own.
Kids anywhere?
No kids.
Okay.
One day. One day when I get married, I want to have kids.
So, yeah, I guess you have a few pluses right now. You have some pluses right now.
I like the way Chris handled Amanda's mom. Just the right amount of explanation without getting defensive. But this test isn't quite over.
I have to make a good impression for your mom.
Right. No.
Oh, damn.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it, Steve.
Coming up on Tough Love Co-Ed.
They go to the club and compete who can get the most girls. And they gonna give them a bachelor's pad. Thinking to myself, red flag 1.
Pleasure seeing you again.
Good seeing you too.
You have a good one.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye. We accidentally just smooched, and it was cool. It was cool.
What's up?
I brought my godmother along.
Oh, really?
If you don't mind.
Oh, not at all.
We go on dates together all the time.
How's it going, Christopher? We're doing good.
Good to see you.
This is Leon. How you
Hi, Leon. Nice to meet you.
My cousin.
Last up are Christopher, Portia, Soraya, and Judy. I'm sending them for cocktail dates in a high-rise with breathtaking views of Hollywood. Little do they know, I've rigged their elevator to malfunction and leave them stranded between floors. I want to see if they can keep their nerve in this scenario straight out of a horror movie.
We're like stuck in our receiving.
Oh, man, what the?
The elevator just stops. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell? What you guys do?
Did you hit the right floor?
14.
Okay. All of a sudden, the elevator stops. Not on the 14th floor. Lights are flashing.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, we're seriously stuck here. Should the doors fail to open, do not become alarmed. Well, that doesn't make me feel secure.
It's understandable that Portia's a tad bit nervous, but at least she has 2 fearless male companions to keep her calm.
Get me out of here, man.
Shut
They gotta get me out this elevator now.
This is tripping.
They're freaking out, and like them freaking out made me more nervous.
There's little danger of running out of air or of this elevator.
Dropping uncontrollably.
Oh
my God.
Why would we not be able to breathe? I don't understand. Wait, we don't even have an open door button.
Just hit her.
Press the lobby, press the lobby, press the lobby. Let's go 14th floor. Press any buttons. Any buttons will work. Bears panic more than I do.
You know, I'm walking down the stairs going out. I can take the elevator all I want.
Also, you gonna just leave me?
I'm not gonna leave you. I'm gonna carry you on my back. I'm gonna give you a piggyback like this.
Leave me.
You know what I mean?
Okay, before anyone climbs into the elevator shaft, I'll get the cars running again. I want to see if they can overcome this shaky start and still impress their dates.
What the? Oh, okay.
If it would have been any longer, sitting up in his elevator, I probably would have flipped out. Now where do we go? I don't know.
First up is Soraya with her date David, and David's sister, Christy.
This is beautiful.
This is?
Hopefully this isn't going to be as, like, sterile of a date that I've had thus far with David. It's just been kind of like, well, you know, let me tell you about me. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a little bit more intimate.
What's that say?
Oh yeah, you haven't seen all my tattoos.
No.
You'll say successus. It's Latin for from difficulty comes sweetness.
Okay.
I have 3 flowers on my ankle that represent me, my mom, and my sister. I have abuelita on my chest over my heart from my grandma that passed away. I have a Tupac tattoo on my thigh. When I was 15, went through a little bit of a phase. You know, I started talking about my tattoos. And I can kind of see her face change a little bit where she's like, oh, wow, that's... I have almost my entire back, which is a memorial piece for my...
You do?
Did we not talk about this one?
No. You left everything out.
Surprise!
Oh, there's the big surprise.
Rule number 22, read the room. If you're not getting favorable feedback, change the subject, especially when discussing controversial topics, like your Tupac tattoo.
That's a lot of tattoos.
It is.
Do you have any?
I do not.
I hope I didn't, like, shoot myself in the foot right there. Really good meeting you. Thanks for coming all the way out here. Like, my pleasure.
Bye. See you later.
Better.
I will.
Not even. Bye, guys. Take care.
It's the being here, you know? It's nice. Absolutely. I'm good with that.
He told you about me?
I don't know anything about you.
For this to be his close cousin, that he didn't tell him anything about me at all. We have a red flag. So my mission was for his cousin to reveal some secrets. Tell me some things about Darius that, you know, you've been around him long enough to know what he like and what he doesn't like. And
My cousin has excellent taste in women. So.
excellent taste in women. That was like more than one.
It's always been kind of like a little competition in terms of, okay, who's pulling more girls. We were in the club just having a good time. Every time I look at B with a different girl, it's like, yeah, just getting down. When he's out there, he's dancing and he's taking his sweater off and he starts flexing and like girls, you know, he does it all the time.
James didn't sugarcoat anything. Please keep feeding him champagne, wine, whatever you got there. Just keep feeding it to him because I want to keep talking about these girls. Okay, so let's get back to the secrets.
We gonna have a good time. That's the bottom line.
Uh-oh, this is bad. Darius's cousin is letting him have it with both barrels. It's just harmless ribbing that all guys do to each other, but I'm worried Judy won't take it the right way.
You just got here just recently.
Last night.
Last night. So how long are you gonna stay?
I don't even want to go back, man. Like,
Move back here, move
I
down
will.
here.
No, honestly, we'll just buy a place out here and just do it big. Man. Get a little family crib or something, you know.
Like a bachelor's pad.
There you go.
That's when I was completely turned off. Baby, I'm not trying to stay with you, your cousin, and his cousin, and your friend when I come to visit. I am a grown-ass woman. I mean, all you guys do is have club nights and
That's really
flex in the
it.
club and show out for the girls and stuff. That's cool. You know, that's what bachelors do.
Completely.
Okay, so we have to get out of here, you guys.
Yeah, let's go.
After tonight, I'm questioning Darius.
Let's do it. Let's have a good time tonight.
I'm just at a loss of words. Like, I was just disgusted. All right, bye.
1, 2, 3, go. How was it? Good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man, I wasn't gonna ask twice.
Yay.
There you go. All right.
Quite the ladies' man.
Threesome.
We should check out this view real quick, though.
Yeah, Amanda feels like, hey, it's time to go over to the window and have our own personal cheers.
Now will I have it? Yeah.
Rule number 34, keep PDA to a minimum. Look, there's nothing wrong with a polite peck on the lips, but full-on making out in front of your date's godmother? That's just gross.
You okay?
No.
What happened?
What's wrong? Everything went wrong.
It wasn't good, obviously. Judy, when she came in, she looked different. You know, she didn't look like she usually does when she goes and sees Darius.
What happened? I think I got myself a party boy who like to pick up girls from the club when they get drunk. They go to the club and compete who can get the most girls. I'm thinking to myself, red flag 1, and you're gonna move in with your cousin, and they're gonna get them a bachelor's pad. Yeah, red flag number 2. So how are you ready to be in a relationship when you don't get a bachelor's pad? Now I'm back down here. Come to the house, Darius. I need you to come to the house.
Coming up on Tough Love Co-Ed.
And then the bachelor's pad came up.
That's a block right there.
Do you really think that's the kind of guy Darius is?
You know, I was questioning him.
I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill.
I'm looking forward to group tonight. I feel like I knocked it out of the park. The date, I did great. I handled the stress test well. Opening up with your emotions and family and expressing. I mean, God, if I don't get first place, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
We've come to the end of a week of emotional ups and downs, dealing with either your own family or your date's family or both. The question of the week was, will you stay on course? Figuratively and literally. Christopher, how do you think you handled your pressure on your date with Amanda?
Really well.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
How was the chemistry there? You obviously are feeling something. You did go so far as to lay one on her in front of her godmother. Does anybody else want to see this kiss?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? All right. Why don't we go to the tape then?
Oh my gosh. She's I'm telling, oh no. She's drinking, taking it in.
Thanks for the show.
Yeah.
Come on. Joking aside, how do you feel about Amanda?
I don't know.
Are you playing coy? Just be on a level with me.
No, everything's going really good with Amanda.
I have no reason to discontinue this connection then.
Understood, Steve. Let's keep rolling with it.
All right. Judy, when you came back to the house, boy,
Yeah.
you vented about Darius for sure.
I did. First of all, he was a party boy, and that's fine and everything, but it was a competition. So I felt like maybe that was a little immature. We've been dating now for over a month, and so I feel like I've let him into my life. But You told me that you talked to your friends about me, and this is your first cousin. You guys are so close. And then how come you hadn't told him about me? And then the bachelor's tag came up.
Do you really think that's the kind of guy Darius is?
I was questioning him.
You guys tell me, if this guy sounds like this man-about-town player, let's go to the table.
I don't even want to go back, man. Let's buy a place out here and just do it big.
That's the bachelor's tag.
We were in the club just having a good time. Every time I look at B with a different girl, he's taking his sweater off and then he starts flexing and like girls. You know, he does it all the time.
Does it sound like, it sounds to me like he's just busting his cousin's balls.
That's a block right there.
Extreme. He was throwing him under the bus, but I felt like Darius could have still intervened. Like, hey.
What was he gonna do?
I don't know, you know.
He was laughing it off because his cousin was busting his balls. He didn't think you were gonna run with it and come home all, he's a player. Just talk to him. Don't rush to judgment. I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill once again.
I got you.
Portia, you started the week off a bit rough. Let's talk about what it was like for you to see your family. Couldn't have come at a better time, huh?
Yeah, I was on my way out the door. My dad gave me like a super side eye when he saw my bags packed. Like, you don't quit, so yeah, get comfy.
Me and your dad see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Oh, geez.
They observe a lot of these things that I've observed. Let's take a look at some of their feedback. You guys got a tough cookie on your hands.
To say the least.
You're getting the last part of it.
Yeah.
You needed the earlier part.
Her personality is such that she likes to be in control, and I know you've learned that about her. But
she must have been a handful growing up, huh?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
There's this sense of
entitlement?
You said it, not me.
May not seem like it, and she may not show it to you, but you're helping.
It's obvious that your parents would love to see you happy. They'd love to see you in a fulfilling relationship. And they both agree that that would be more likely if you were more approachable.
I know, it's definitely room for growth, and that's something that I'm working on. I mean, I'm definitely stubborn. I have a real hard, like, outer exterior, but, like, I mean, it's definitely something that I can work on.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Soraya.
Mm-hmm.
This week, you are the one I am most concerned about. Please get up in the hot seat.
Okay. I'm very confused as to why I'm sitting in this chair.
Maybe because you fell off on your date. Coming up on Tough Love Co-Ed, you're meeting this guy's sister for the first time.
That just kind of like threw me for a loop.
I don't think I would be interested in pursuing Soraya romantically.
You fell off on your date.
Okay.
You were meeting this guy's sister for the first time. How do you think you did?
I thought I did pretty good. I mean,
think about the conversations.
I'm trying. I know that there were times where, talking about my tattoos, and I saw her eyes get a little wide, like, oh, wow, she's really tatted up.
This is you talking about your tattoos.
Okay. I have 3 flowers on my ankle, 2 down my chest over my heart. I have Tupac tattoo on my thigh, almost my entire back.
You do?
Surprise!
Oh, there's the big surprise.
Do you have any? I do not.
That was like week 1 lesson. It was first impression all over again.
That's one thing that I do when I'm nervous. It's like word vomit.
You were able to control the conversation. You were a woman sitting at that table, and you could have asserted yourself as an adult. There was the tattoos, and you missed how David was picking up on it. Let me show you his feedback. Let's take a look.
Everyone has a tattoo that they wish they didn't get. But if I were to just say right off the bat, that's not much of a turn on for me. It doesn't really do much to me. I personally don't like them.
Wow, that just kind of like threw me for a loop.
Did you feel like your chemistry was growing before this?
I thought so.
Well, let's test your radar.
Okay.
I felt like I was hanging out with my other sister as well, so it was very comfortable, and it just wasn't the same feeling that you would look for when you're dating a girl. Kind of got the friend vibe from Soraya more as the dates progressed. So at this time, I don't think I would be interested in pursuing Soraya romantically. But I do hope that her and I can stay connected as friends.
I think you're throwing out information just in the wrong order of things. But it's okay, because it's not like you can't use better judgment and just be conscious of what you're doing in the moment.
I felt like we had a great connection. Like, it was so effortless just talking to him. I'm definitely very disappointed with how everything happened with David.
All right. Keep in mind, guys, that you are all in control of your own destinies. I see some of your stock rising. I see some of your stock falling. It's up to you to determine the value in this experience. You don't need to convince me. You need to convince yourselves. I'll see you soon. Next time on Tough Love Co-Ed.
There's a knock at the door, and everyone is so anxious. Holy come on in.
Time for the Always Revealing Exes episode. Can I bring them up here just to,
I'd rather not. I haven't talked to him in 2 years, and that's been fine.
Was she like in love with you or something?
I guess.
What do you mean, I guess?
The option of not having you around, I'm not feeling that.
If he's the same old guy and nothing's changed in the 2.5 years since you've been with him, is that where you really want to take things moving forward?
I love you. I love you all the way around.
This is a copy of the letter you wrote to Christopher.
Ooh, so much for destroying that letter, huh?
Yeah.
Here's what you're gonna do. No ifs, ands, buts, babies.